Hey everybody, Corrie Thorne, the spiritual teacher, coming in to do my channel message. This is for right after the eclipse, going into the full moon. This is on November the 19th, 2021. And I am channeling through this hectic energy of the full moon that's also being frigging disturbed by this crazy ass star that's in there, that star of destruction that's all through there. So very challenging day, a challenging energy, but also one of productivity and being able to feel empowered to get things done. If we use the energy that has a force behind it to be to our advantage, it is amazing what we can accomplish. So this eclipse, this full moon, the eclipse really took me personally on a journey, a challenge of challenging myself to, are you done yet? Are you done with that story? Can you let it go? And so I just finished writing a blog about the dumpster diver in me. And as I'll release it later, or not yet, but soon. It'll come out soon. But it was, it's that challenge of when I just freaking threw everything in the garbage and just like everything I was creating, everything I was doing. And I've been doing this for weeks, just throwing stuff away and just like, and I mean creativity, things that I've created, things I've worked on. And I'm like, no, it has to go. And then under the eclipse last night, I was out with my ass up in the air, pulling out of the dumpster, pulling back out of the garbage can, some of the things that I did throw out. And I just heard, through a loving support of my partner, are you really going to let the world win? Like, are you going to let that define you and stop you from, being your messy, crazy self? And so I look forward to sharing what is to come of that. But that's kind of the energy of, some of the things that we're diving deep into picking up, even though things are messy, even though things become that destructive energy, is that it is an opportunity to use it to dig in, to get in there, to look into that invisible energy, to look into those, into those non-true emotions and pick out and find that that little fleck of you that you've been trying to remove, trying to get rid of, that's been a problem for other people, problem for the world, and pick it up. And even if it is the grieving you that is still going through your process and you just feel like the world just keeps saying to you, oh, you should be done now. And so you're suppressing what you need to go through, what you need to feel, then you're not finished. You're not done that journey. And if you're just suppressing it because it's making other people uncomfortable, when kind of put, like I did with the dumpster, kiss my ass. That's kind of what it was, like, kiss my ass. I'm picking out the parts of me that may not be perfect, may be imperfect, may not please others, may not make other people comfortable, but it is for you. And so that really truly was coming up for me, because it is time for us to be able to honor that within ourselves, so that we don't feel like we're such a problem in the world, that who we are is not such a problem, that we can really truly be defined by our truth, that we can all be our unique, authentic self, and that be enough. But to be, kindfully unapologetic. We don't have to become rude or disrespectful or not show dignity, but we can maintain dignity for ourselves and show dignity for others and respect who and what we are, and not to feel like we have to be punishing ourselves. And that is huge in this message that is following through with this full moon that is coming up. And it is also about when the water freezes over. So if you really would like to even know more or embark upon a healing and meditation journey, I highly suggest that you take the journey with me tomorrow morning. And it's 9:30 Mountain Standard Time. If you go to corriethorne.com, follow the link below and go into corriethorne.com, you can see in the events that at 9:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, so that I am going to be hosting a a meditation, a guided meditation and healing circle that will be for this full moon energy. And the full moon lights up the things that we probably have not been ready to face, not prepared to face, but we now need to face. So it's the things that we're now ready to conquer, to achieve, to do, to own, to whatever it may be. And this one, it does have a little bit of a blend of energy. It does have water in there. And it's also tied around the beaver. And so it's the beaver moon as well. And so there is a lot of, beavers are these hardworking animals, and I write in my book a whole story around the beavers. And I write about, I have this whole story of they were stuck in this water, and that's where they lived, and they had their house, and that was going on for as long as I was out camping, and I'd kayak and tell myself these stories until one day I discovered all these holes underneath the road that went out to the waterway on the other side, which was clear flowing water. And in that clear flowing water, they were escaping. The only one trapped was me. So I was trapped in my story, and then I was dragging along the beavers into my story to stay with me, to stay in my story so that I could stay in my murky, muddy energy that really was not me, was not my truth, was not the life that I was designed to live at that point in my life. And that it was time for me to start digging my trenches, to really start digging and digging deep to find my way and to create new ways. And so that's also what I've been teaching, what I just started teaching in the chakra healing masterclass that I started. And so that started last night, but you can still get in there with me as well. So if you're looking for, for new ways, if you're just looking, trying to understand things on a deeper level, if you're trying to, find those new pathways, build a new way of doing things, of discovery, of learning about you or anything like that, get into that masterclass. You never know. Even if you know nothing about it, it's okay. Even if there's, if you're saying, well, I don't think that's for me. Maybe that's just your ego or fear story of stepping into an unknown. And maybe it's time to step into some of those unknown places, to start venturing out, to start investing into you. Investing into you is the best thing that you can do. And that's why using this energy to be of service to you instead of to cause you to be in a place of adding on to more of everything you don't want is very important. So as we're moving through this energy, as we're shifting through this through this energy and really truly not becoming an enemy to yourself anymore, I'm going to go to my deck of oracle cards that are still in beta testing. Yes, they should have been out a long time ago, but they do have a lot of attitude. So they've been reinvented a few times, or they have been reinventing me. They've been bringing me to who I need to be to present the cards into the world. That's more like the story. And so the card that comes up is the Guardian, and it's Willow. And so we have these guardians and these beautiful guardians that stand with us and around us. And so we often forget that we have a whole team that we can access and that we can call upon that can be of service to us. And this is where the guardian comes in, so that we have these guardians. And these guardians are larger than life. They're stronger than our fear stories. They're stronger than they're more powerful than our ego, and they're more powerful than our emotions and our old stories. They have an unconditional love and light that is here to rise us up, to pull us out of even the hardest of times. It may not happen as quickly as we may think, but it does happen. Sometimes we are held safe during the hardest times. And when you look back later, you say, oh, that could have been a whole lot worse. That could have ended, in a whole lot worse of a situation. And the experience may not have been great, but the fact that we're still at the end, we're still standing at the end of those stories is an absolute miracle sometimes. And to see ourselves there and say, thank you, but to know that they're not just there for when we're falling and crashing, they're there for our everyday journey, just to help us through our emotions, through our hard times, through those decisions and choices where we're afraid to trust ourselves and we haven't quite got there, that we can fully know to what we can trust within ourselves, because what we feed ourselves becomes our truth. And when we're not able to see that what we're feeding ourselves is a fear story, then sometimes we have to come out of our own lower vibrating energy, shift into the higher self, and then step outside and start asking for the resources for the team outside of us to help guide us through. And why is she willow? Because willow is bendable, flexible. Willows can grow on the banks of the swamps, of the muskegs, and they can grow into these massive, massive trees. But also she is called willow, but she is also more than a willow. She's not a willow tree. She's the fact that, you know, the trees may grow and everybody's like, oh, I'd love to be the blossoming flowers. But the blossoming flowers, you know, they come and they go and they're there for a temporary moment, a temporary satisfaction. But the trunk and the limbs and the roots are there for the long haul. So it's, you know, we can be satisfied by temporary satisfactions, or we can get grounded and rooted in what is going to bring us into that place of stability, of strength, of courage. What is there for the long haul? What is there? And sometimes we find ourselves when we're going through, you know, changes and struggles, is that we reach out for temporary satisfaction because we're just trying to fill up, to feel safe or to feel secure or to feel satisfied, that sense of, you know, false fulfillment that leads us into, you know, being temporarily content and feeling as if we have accomplished something, will also fall away. Building strong foundations, getting to the core, getting to know what is reliable, what is loyal, what is true, what is there in the long run. And that includes becoming loyal to you, being true to you, being honest to you, and just knowing that you have to become your best friend, your guru. You have to become the everything that you will need to sustain this time upon this earth. And so when you keep looking out and in desperation of seeking and searching, and so many, you know, I always say I've give so many people, you know, they're the tools to do the work. And then they keep seeking and searching long out everywhere, trying to wait for someone to give them the answer, or to give them the, you know, the ideal future, or to give them something that just says, yeah, that's exactly what it's going to be, or that's exactly what you need to do. Well, that's not how it works. And so this is about being able to trust that you have a team that works on your behalf, but you also have you, and you are a system. And there's a whole intricate system that is operating through within you, that is there for your highest good, that is there for you to live with divine purpose, not to spend a lifetime trying to seek purpose. Your purpose is to be the best human that you can be and to thrive from there. And when you become the truest version of you, what's meant to be starts to fall into life. And so, like, don't look into the eyes don't look into the eyes of an image of what you think people are and believe that's to be all of their truth, because it's not. And same thing with you. You can't only look at your own mirror reflection of the surface and think that that's who you are. You are so much more than that. You're created of so much more than that. And it's time for us to be able to be more than that. It's time for you to let yourself be more than that. And then we have the performer, and she is Sasha, and she is in reverse. So this is calling us up and out. This moon is calling us up and out and just saying, you know, it's like you can keep putting on an act, putting on a show, keep trying to create that illusion, that story, whatever it may be. But it is time to be, you know, to kind of be naked. It is kind to take it off, or to wear your own clothing, to wear your own look, to wear your own attitude, to wear your own self, to be you, to be present with you, to rise up and just know that, you know, who you are is more than enough. And why do you feel that you have to, you know, become a different version of you to be enough in the world? You can start to create the changes in your world that you want to see by accepting that you're already enough. You're already beautiful. You're already wonderful. You already have so much to offer. And no matter what you're going through, stop apologizing that you have to exist in your experiences to make other people comfortable. If it makes other people uncomfortable that you're going through your grief, then that's theirs. That's not yours. Stop apologizing for being you, and don't feel like you have to put an act on. You know, be in the flow of your feelings, of your truth. And your emotions are not to be discounted. Don't discount them. Pick out the parts of the emotions that are going to serve your healing journey, and then really connect to what is old that you can now let go of, that you know that's of a previous experience and not of this experience, because then it's adding fuel. There's adding fuel to the fire that's already lit. And we don't need to add more of that kind of fire. The kind of fire we need to light is passion, is desire, even though we're not in it. Even though this is not a fire sign, even though this is not a fire energy that's in this moon, there's a spark of hope. There's a fire that is igniting inside of each and every one of us, that is calling us up and calling us out to kind of reinvent, to reinvent ourselves back into what we originally came to be, that of love, that of light. And, you know, we can be going around and around in circles and challenges, and we can get caught up into a lot of things, and we can get into some real bumpy seas and some bumpy ocean, some bumpy waters, and it is right here, right now. And so as we enter into this time of like freezing over, it's like there's like two worlds. There's the world underneath that stays preserved while the water freezes, and then there's us up on top that has to stay warm, to stay alive, to stay right. And so we have to self preserve, and we have to self-regulate. So there's a lot of self-work that nobody else can do for us right now, that we have to do for ourselves. Nobody can walk in your shoes, and nobody can do the work for you, and nobody else can nobody else can experience your experience the way you're experiencing it. So I say to people, whatever, your hurt is, you want other people to know that hurt. And that's why people lash out onto others, is they want other people to feel that hurt sometimes, because you're so frustrated and you just don't know what else to do. But coming into an understanding that your other people can have compassion for you. They can have empathy for you and feel, sympathize with you, but nobody can feel what you're feeling, because nobody is walking in your shoes. Nobody has your experience with the experiences, with the person, or with the same connection. So your energetic connection is very different. And so everyone's experience is different, but allowing yourself to be supported is a big, big thing. So there's a lot of self-work, self-preservation, self-healing, self-acknowledgement, those type of things, but also knowing that the guardians are telling us that support during this time and in the coming months, even all through 2022, supporting each other, to be there for each other, is a must. It is so important for us to allow ourselves to be supported, and also to know to where we can be a support, and what we need, what we need to start supporting in our own selves to be able to really connect on that level with ourselves. And then we have the Page of Wands, and the Page of Wands is showing me, see there, I knew there was a fire here. I could see the fire, right? And so, it's like new growth, like looking up and just feeling that sense of which direction do we go, and just being inspired by, that seed, that spark, that little glimmer. There is a little glimmer of hope. There's a little spark. There's a little bit of something that just keeps showing us to just trust, to just not to lose faith when times are depleted, when times feel desolate, when times feel like the struggle is bigger than ever, that within us all, we all have something that is there to help guide us, to help rise us up, to give us the strength when we didn't know we had, that innate, that part of the virtuous self, that strength that knowing, and that's connected to the angelic realm. It is connected into calling in the angels, calling in, Archangel Uriel, calling in Archangel Michael, calling in the guardians, calling in the troops, calling in the team, the holy, the ascendant masters, calling in your loved ones who would be there to help you through those times. And most of all, calling on you, moving the ego aside, the identity of that ego self. And I don't mean you got to have healthy ego. Don't get me wrong. It's not about having no ego. It's about knowing the difference between the aspects of the ego and what is, what is a healthy sense of self and what is a not true self is so important. And so as you start to move forward, and as you look at this little guy, he's got a white hat of, peace, of surrender, of victory, but he's got a feather in his hat. He has accomplished something. He's like he's accomplishing things. He knows there's hope. He knows he's got his shawl thrown over his shoulder. He knows where he's going. He knows, or she, whatever it may be. And, and I'm not discounting that. I'm just going by the channeled message, the energy. And so this, masculine, feminine energy we all have. And so just knowing that is, that sprig of hope, that destination is like, be guided by the staff. And I always say my staff guides me. And when I stand tall and I know I am supported, the staff is support. When I know I am supported in love and faith, and that I'm holding myself true to stay in one with that God consciousness, I know I will go in the right direction. I know things will take me the way that it is meant to go. So that woman that was out dumpster diving last night in the eclipse moon, in the ice cold with nothing on her feet, half-ass naked. I'm like, anyone in my neighborhood with a camera that may have seen that, I'm not crazy. And I was picking out the imperfect, creative side of me, the messy side of me, and pulling it back out of the garbage in its paintings and bringing them back into the home and saying, I accept your imperfection. I accept you're crazy. I accept those parts of you. And those parts of me have supported me, have gotten me through, have provided for me, and have given me strength when I did not know I have strength. Do not discount your shadow as being the worst parts of you, because ultimately that part of us that wasn't our true self, that existed in most of our lives, it did a pretty damn good job for most of us. And if it hasn't, it's definitely protected you from your own self a lot of times. So now is a time to say thank you, to show gratitude, and then to also start to show gratitude out to the world, to those that showed us blessings and lessons, and those that have challenged us, those that have made us question ourselves, those that have turned our backs on us and said and judged us and criticized us and tried to turn others against us. Truly honor them, appreciate them. I sent loving prayers to each and every one of them this morning. And my love for those people have not ever changed. My deep-seated love, because I can't be that kind of unkind. And you probably can't either. Or maybe you just had to say an F you. And if you did, then so freaking be it. But what did you gain from it? What did you learn from it? And be inspired by that to start to rise up today, to walk with your staff, to know that you are supported and guided, and put that feather in your hat and just say, I will decide today. Much love. Have a beautiful week. And I love you dearly. And I so appreciate all of your love and support. And you can donate to my business, to my work through PayPal. And the link is also down below. The link may not work. You may have to copy and paste it, but you can not expect it. But I get asked about it, so that's why I'm sharing it. And if you have not yet purchased my book, my first book is out. It has been out for a while. It is called More Than Existing, and it is my journey through the healing of moving from just existing into a life of more than existing. So, and I look forward to, in the new year, also bringing forth my second book that will be coming out as well, Beyond the Reflection. Much love. Thank you for joining me, and have a beautiful weekend. And please embrace this full moon. And if you want to join me in the morning, you sure can. Follow the link below to CorrieThorne.com and sign up. Bye-bye.